Previously on One Tree Hill.
Greetings, Starfighters. Welcome to Mad Science Films. I'm Jimmy P, filmmaker and sexual astronaut. First up, please, guys, check out our fourth feature film for free over on YouTube. Just search for Little Monster or click on the link in the show notes below. This episode, I'm joined by a very special guest and returning champion from last year, Mr. Jonathan Zaurin. We had a really, really good chat 14 months ago. It's absolutely mad to think it was that long ago. It doesn't seem that long ago. And that was just after you'd completed your first feature film. You'd screened it, and I think I rewatched the episodes again just to remind myself where we were in the timeline. You had just had it picked up by a distributor / sales agent. Now you're also in pre-production and fundraising for your new feature film, Derelict. Looking at crowdfunding then, I mean, your new film then has a crowdfunding campaign for 30,000. Have I got that right?
Yes, that's right.
Is that the sole total of the budget of the film, or have you got money else coming in as well?
No, we have no wiggling room. We've even accounted for the percentage that Indiegogo is going to take.
Yes, of course.
So
very important. Yeah. So what is the chunk of Indiegogo at the moment? Is it 10,000? 10%?
I think it's 10%. But again, I don't want to talk out of my ass. I don't run the campaign. I've got my producer Andy who runs it. So we sort of divided the workload as I would produce all the media, all the interviews, all the trailers, all the I'll go do all the interviews like we did today on the BBC and we'll do all this shit. I'll do all of that. But I needed someone to design the campaign,
and it's a full-time job, isn't it? I mean, I think that's what a lot of people don't appreciate. If anything, it might be harder than just working a day job relentlessly for a year and coming up with
we sweated for every pound that we got.
But again, I said this to you off camera just before we started, is unlike other campaigns, what I really like about this one is you guys have plenty of material. You know, you have interviews with cast, you have interviews coming apparently with the director himself.
Yeah.
You've got the trailer, and you're publishing, you had the interview the other day with, was it Radio Hereford?
Yeah, BBC. Yeah.
Yeah, so great. And I love that because I feel, full disclosure here, I have contributed to the campaign. I'm very excited.
Yes, you have, and we thank you for this.
But I feel included now, like you're getting the updates and obviously I'm friends with you on Facebook as well. So I'm getting that information there. But the number of times I've contributed to a campaign and then it's just been radio silence.
Yeah.
They maybe done a video at the beginning and then nothing, and then they're surprised when they haven't meet their totals. It's like, well, you've got to
and the other thing you have to be conscious of is how many not between you and I, between you and I and your audience, how many
and the tens of viewers that we have,
how many crowdfunding campaigns you contribute to where you're still wondering where the film is?
There's been a few. Yeah, that's a fun game actually. Is occasionally I'll click on my Indiegogo or Kickstarter account, and you can actually see what historically you've done. And I don't know if I'm stingy, but to be fair, I've got about a 50-50 success rate, which I think's not bad compared to
not the case for me. I can tell you that. And I get the feeling that this is it's a regular occurrence. And what was important for us is we wanted people who back us to feel like this is not going to be the case. Like we have a track record, we have made films before, we have got films released. Like you said, it's we take it for granted because we've done it, but a lot of indies never get their films distributed ever. And we have. And so we're in that position where we're lucky we can guarantee we are, unless I die all of a sudden.
Why would you even say that?
Well, you don't know what's around the corner, but the film's going to get made. And there'll be a product at the end. There'll be a premiere, and now we can talk about it. But what in hell? How many times you were there? How many times did you get to a movie premiere for an indie film that cost £5,000 in a fucking Odeon?
This might be the worst time to ask, bearing in mind that you're partway through, and as you say, you're in a bit of a slump at the moment with it. But bearing in mind everything you've done so far and where you are, would you consider running a crowdfunding campaign in the future then? You've not completely been soured on the experience yet?
Look, I'm glad I did it. Working with Andy was great. He's done such a great job. And
what's Andy's full name to give him full
Andy
credit?
Piper.
Thank you, Andy.
Man, and he's actually, I'll plug him right now, actually. He's doing a festival in Sudbury called Dead and Sudbury, which is
yes. I half recognize the name, but I definitely have heard of Dead and Sudbury.
I would
I was very jealous. I love
recommend...
the t-shirt designs they did.
Yeah.
Like a music
it's
festival.
Honestly, it's one of my 3 favorite genre festivals I've been to. I've been to quite a few with my films, but Andy's is the most welcoming, happy, positive guy, and he's got a huge passion for horror and for films in general. And the venue is amazing. It's tiny little cinema with the manager she's lovely, and there's drinks and the films are showing all day, and the crowd is excellent.
We'll stick some links down to
I would recommend anyone that loves horror festivals to go to Dead and Sudbury. It's amazing. But anyway, Andy Piper.
So would you do it in future?
Campaign manager, yes. You know, I would. It's a tricky question. I would hope I don't have to.
Yeah,
that's the way I would.
That's a fair and honest answer. Absolutely, yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing in the sense that I would hope that we can get into a system with this film where we can actually be self-sufficient and make enough money that we can make the next, and so on, and get bigger each time. And there's also a part of me, what I dislike about it is this kind of perception that it's a little bit like begging. It's not.
No.
But there is a perception, and even some team members have mentioned it, and you go, well, but it's not, because and especially in the way that we run our campaign, it's like we're offering things in return. Yes. Genuinely. Yeah. We've even put the original canvases of the posters for sale. I mean, they're not cheap. Why would they be? They're original artworks.
Yeah.
But, we are making sure that people get something for their money. And the way that I look at it is that it's kind of weird system where people pay in advance rather than pay you once you've done the film to buy your film. And I get it. It's weird. But there's a part of me that doesn't like it, because especially in nowadays with the algorithms, with Facebook and Twitter and all that, you kind of have to private message people, ask them to share, ask them if they can contribute. And after a while, you kind of feel like you're begging for money to make your film. And so it hasn't been a particularly pleasant experience for me. Would I do it again if I was desperate? Yeah. But I would hope I don't have to. And so I hope that kind of reassures people that I'm not going to keep doing that and bother them for money. This is literally because the only reason we decided to do it is because we ended up in such a weird situation with Wyvern Hill that it was like, well, I don't see us having much of a choice here if we want to carry on. The thing to know about most filmmakers, or at least the ones that want to genuinely, and you're one of them, so you can confirm or infirm this, but the ones that want to genuinely be able to make this their how can I put that delicately? I don't want to say career is the wrong word. Their work.
Sustainable, make it sustainable.
Right. They want to make art and live from it.
Which,
because let's face it, there's a lot of people for whom it's like, I'll just make a film on it. Because with the fact that digital has made film possible for everybody, that means you're going to get a little bit of everything. You're going to get people that want to genuinely make a living out of this. You're going to get people that casually go, why not? I'll just make a feature and everything's fine. No problem. But if you genuinely want to make a living out of this and you want to be able to keep making films, that's where I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Then it's always about the next one. So right now we're thinking about Derelict. Yes, we're thinking about making Derelict. But we're thinking Derelict needs to allow us to make the next one.
Yeah.
So that's where you have that kind of thing where you go, well, you know, how do we do that? And with Wyvern Hill, we got in such a bad situation on because, you know, people go, oh, but what do you give a shit about ratings? But when you approach production company and they ask you to see your IMDb and your film's on 2.9, they go, oh, another joker, right? Because production companies don't look at films, they don't look at scripts, right?
Yep. Yep.
Let's make this clear for newcomers out there. They don't look at your screenplay until you've gone through fucking 6 meetings, you know. Even then, you've got to put a proposal together, you got to pitch, you got to do a pitch deck, you got to do synopsis, you got to talk to people, you got to green light this and green light that, and then maybe they look at your screenplay if you're lucky, you know. So it's not, we weren't in a good position to be able to go, yeah, okay. So we decided, well, we can either keep pushing at the same shit for 6 years or we can do crowdfunding. But it's not something I ever thought I would necessarily want to do, especially because I've contributed to so many and nothing came out of it, and that's frustrating, and I get people's frustration with it. You know, the first crowdfunding I ever backed was a short film 9 years ago. It's a short film. It's still wondering where the fuck it is. You know, it's like, well, better be as good as Lord of the Rings because it took 10 years to make this, mate. You know, like in the time it took you to make this one film, I've done 6 short films, a feature, and you know, edited 200 video essays. So, you know, but that's my point. We are a serious company. We're offering serious things, and we're offering for people to get involved with a film that will get made.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the fact that Wyvern Hill got made, and the fact it got released by you know, traditional distribution company
in a pandemic, by the way.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That all obviously goes in your favor then, as, you know, part of the CV, part of, you know, your experience, and part of a guarantee that you can make to audience members is this film is going to come out.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But the other thing is, I know that people think £30,000 is a lot of money to raise, and it is. It's more money than I earn in a year. So, you know, but to be clear, you know, every penny's been budgeted, every penny's been accounted for. None of it is going to me. I'm not getting a penny out of this. We're paying our actors, we're paying our crew, because I think, you know, it's not reasonable to expect that the people who make the film will make it for free. And on Wyvern Hill, we were kind of naive. We thought, oh, we can do profit share, but then you make no profit.
Yeah.
So it's okay. You do it once. You don't know any better, right? But I can't justify now putting people on profit share, knowing that the likeliness that they'll make some money.
In your head, you know that it's a lot less likely.
Yeah.
Than what you thought, obviously, before. So yeah, in good conscience.
Right. You've got
so
to be.
Would you say that's where the jump from what was Wyvern 5,000 from 30 is effectively paying cast and crew this time around?
The way that the budget is done, I think there's £10,000 that need to go on equipment, and then it's £20,000 that goes on paying all our cast a decent wage, because you have to think, right? All these people, all creatives, they have day jobs. You have to be available for 4 weeks. That's going to be loss of income. So you have to be able to cover that. Well, you also have to be able to cover the time, because they spend time on this. So, you know, you got to pay your crew. We're working on a limited crew, but you need a sound guy. You need, you know, you need an assistant. You need this. You need to feed people. You need to put them up if they're coming from London. They're coming from Manchester. You have to do all this, you know. And that costs money. So literally the £20,000, well, not quite, because we're keeping some for a little bit of post-production, though the thing about it is the way that I work is I save so much money on post-production, because I do my own grade, I do my own editing, so that costs nothing. None of it's coming to me. I want to make that clear. I'm not being, I want £30,000 because I want to put 10 in my pocket. Zero is exactly how I'm budgeted in this. £0. And so the thing about it is, yeah, we have £1,000 put aside for the mix, which got to be done at AR Studio, and the music. Gal Sanchez. I just couldn't reasonably ask people to believe in profit share again, because I don't believe in it anymore.
No, absolutely.
I do for investors. Like, I'm sure that if people want to give a large chunk of money, we can be in a situation where we can at least give it back.
Yeah, but again, that's investors are the ones that get the money back first, isn't it?
Yes,
so
that's exactly it. That's exactly why. That's exactly why I'm confident that we can make some money for these people, is that in the pecking order, because they've put some money, nobody's getting any money before these people have had their money back. So whatever happens, that's the thing. And because we're not going to look at the same channels of distribution as we did last time, and we know how much money we made on the Blu-rays, there is no doubt in my mind that if we have larger size investors, we are going to at least get them their money back. There is no doubt.
Yeah.
But for cast and crew, it gets trickier, because before you can even give them a penny, you have first to refund the £30,000 to all your investors, right? If you're working on a profit share.
Yeah.
And so you have to make £30,000. And then anything you do on top of that is split between everyone that's on the profit share. So the profit that you're getting is like
pence,
1%, 2%, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And 2% of 500 quid.
Yeah.
That's not, and I know what people are saying. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, but people aren't here to fund your dreams and shit like that. And I've heard it, but that's not what we're asking.
No,
we're asking people to be a part of it, and to help get this film made. And at the end of it, they will see the film, they will have the film, they will be in the credits, they will be a part of it, and the film will be delivered at a high level of quality. Because
well, again, you've got Wyvern Hill, and I think, like I said a year and a bit ago, the budget, it looks about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times the budget of what you actually spend on it, just visually. So that again is your calling card to use. And I know I think on some of the Derelict Facebook posts, obviously there's been clips of your shorts and Wyvern Hill in there, and that's got to obviously make a good impression on people. And it's again, more of a guarantee that this film is going to be made, and it's going to be something that people actually want.
Well, I'm hoping we look like a stable gamble. And we are. Whatever happens, there's no way we're not delivering something. We have before. We always have, in conditions that would make most people just go, I'm not doing that. So I'm hoping that this is just a middle slump, and people are going to go, you know what, this is worth backing. But part of the concern for us is that because it's such a peculiar project, in the sense that it's not biting with the kind of usual communities, in a sense. And times are hard. This is the other thing. Times are really hard. The political situation in this country at the moment is just insane. So
Insane is probably the best word to describe it at the moment.
Totally get it. But we are not asking for charity. We are asking for people to buy themselves a film in the future. You have to envision the future, I think, with crowdfunding. It's like
you're pre-ordering a film. It's just the release date will be a bit longer than a normal pre-order.
Exactly.